from September to December, all the way through December. All righty. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? We are going to talk about Pluto. I know, it's like shit ain't serious enough. Let's talk about Pluto. Pluto's retrograding as I'm recording this video. I'm recording this in September. Pluto is not going to keep retrograding. It will stop retrograding and it will go forward. It'll go direct. There's videos out already, right? Many from the past about Pluto's cycle because it's a big deal. And I've been getting some recent questions about Pluto. And when was the last time it was where it is now? And we think back to the signing of the Declaration of Independence, when Pluto was in the latter degrees of Capricorn energy and then entering into Aquarius energy. And it's never a one-shot deal. It's a multiple time thing. Pluto leaves Capricorn. The next sign is Aquarius, so it travels into it. It already did this last year. In 2022, at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, we had Pluto go into Aquarius energy for the very first time in our lifetime ever. The last time it happened was in the late 1700s, right? So this is a huge event. So some people are like, well, wait a minute, what the hell was going on back then? Well, go read your history, regardless of where you live in the world, but for the United States anyway. So I said the signing of the Declaration of Independence. But I know we've got lots of folks from this channel who are from all over the world. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at the history of where you're at, if you like. And then kind of formulate your own thoughts and ideas. But we always have to pay attention to the other things that are going on as well. Like, where are the other planets? And because you can't just say, oh, but Pluto was here at this time and it did this. Well, what else was where else at that same time? You see? In 2023, Pluto entered Aquarian energy. And so Pluto's all about changes, powerful, deep changes. The word transformation you always hear associated with Pluto. Pluto is about power. It's intense and it's powerful. And we got a kitty cat. And it goes deep. I'm always talking about how it goes to the root of a thing. So I always use the comparison of a gardener, somebody in the yard with the gloves on, trying to get the weeds, pull the weeds out. And what happens when you pull the weeds out? If you just pull them out, and that you don't really get to the root of the weed, right? You don't get to the root of it. What is it? What happens? The damn thing just grows back. So it takes a lot of digging, Pluto. It takes finding what is buried, Pluto, and revealing what is buried. You know, sometimes we associate Pluto energy with things that were in the hidden and below the surface that kind of bursted up and bursted through. You know, Pluto can kind of be likened to like the lava that erupts, you know, you see something that was below the surface, lots of power, right? And it kind of just comes up and it's like, holy shit, wow. And it can make major changes, like the shit forms islands. It's crazy, right? Yeah, it totally can change and transform a thing or a person and the appearance. It can just, it just changes it. It transforms it. It's like transfiguration energy. So in Capricorn, well, this is the material and the tangible, something that's been around for a long time. Think Saturn, material, tangible, hard, something that's sets up a structure, like the rules. And not just the rules as in the law type of rules, but the structures within a society, right? Like, this is the way we do things. This is the order in which we do them. And this is where we do them at our post offices, banking, right? Our governmental buildings. Hold on. We got a kitty cat who wants desperately to come up here. And she keeps nudging me on the leg, like with the double paws. Like, is it my turn? Come on, Taffy, it's your turn. Let's see if we can push this back a little bit. Get Taffy. So yeah, put a little towel, your little blanket down. How are you doing today? Huh? You been missing? You been sleeping good, huh? Yeah, you had a good afternoon snack, didn't you? Yeah, you slept well. Her and her sister climbed into their mother's bed. Yes, they did. Taffy got on the special blanket that she kind of, territory. It's mine. Right, Mama? Yeah. You're a happy kitty, huh? You came in. Okay, I got to keep working though. I only got so much time. I got to stay on course here. Wait. So Capricorn energy. So it's government and it's big corporations. It's things that have the ability to be set up for long term. Think of Capricorn, right? It's the material and the tangible, the long term financial security, right? So business, governments, banking, things that have just been around for a long time. We think of um, some of the buildings, right, that you can go into and you're just like, holy shit, there's so much history here. Yeah, government. And then what about even literally historical placements, right? I said placements, historical places, even because Pluto can represent not only something that is in Capricorn, old, but something that is from the past, Pluto, the past, deep, powerful, and from the past. So in the sign of Capricorn, totally governments, businesses, people of power, people of wealth and money, established wealth and money. That old money, Pluto in Capricorn, that old power, Pluto in Capricorn. And so Pluto has been trying to change and transform that stuff. It's been in Capricorn for the last 20 years. And so it dipped into Aquarius in the beginning of 2023 and it retrograded. And now it stops at 27. Taffy, did we do this yet? Did we even get this ready to go? I was messing around with the chart, drawing stuff on it. So the Pluto retrograde ends where? Look at 27 degrees of Capricorn. It's actually like a 28 though, because it's 27:53. You see that? The 53? Yeah. 27 degrees, 53 minutes. Pluto. Sometimes you might see the Pluto written as a letter P. Okay. This is super powerful. Pluto is a very powerful energy. You see how it's a little person in a way with the arms in the air and a surrender even. Because when Pluto comes through, you don't want to fight it. You want to surrender and be like, okay, this is my signal. Shit's changing. And go with that flow. All right. Capricorn, big businesses, power, government, institution. So this can be like, this makes me think of all the institutions of within a society. Lots of them, right? That have been around for a long time. But the Capricorn represents the sticks and the bricks part of it. You follow? So it's literally the structures, literally the buildings, literally the bricks, stuff that's been around for a while. So here's the big screen. Here's the whole picture. Here's the whole enchilada, as they say, so that you can see the angles. You see, this is like a left T-square, right? Because this is 90 degrees away from this, and this is 90 degrees away from that. And so that creates what we call a T-square. Okay. Now, if you have something in your chart in Aries, at 27, 28, 29 degrees, okay, then Pluto angles them in a square. So a square can be challenging. It can be difficult. It's stress and tension. I will say here that you've already experienced it. You already lived through this before. Remember, this happened last year. Pluto was in Capricorn, 27, 28, 29 degrees. It already squared. So now Pluto moving forward again means that it's going to do just that. It's going to go from 27 to 28 to 29, and then it'll go to 0 degrees of Aquarius. It's going to get there, but it's going to take a little bit of time. It doesn't happen super fast because it's Pluto. All right. So on this day, and it won't be just for this day, you'll be feeling the energy probably even maybe weeks before because Pluto slows down. It starts to slow down, and we hear more things about the government, more things about businesses, possibly businesses that have been around for a long time, possibly businesses that have kind of weaved themselves within government and institutions, right? That have been around for a long time. That makes me always think of NASA and how we can think of some private businesses that are doing work with NASA, that are working with NASA, right? And a lot of that, like space travel now, isn't necessarily like, where's the space shuttle, right? Those other companies that are going up to space and doing those things. And they're not necessarily institutions of our society, but the tricky thing is when those private corporations become weaved in, kind of, or hand in hand with institutions that have been around for a while, it's almost as if they kind of get that preferential treatment, like they're kind of grandfathered in or something, right? It's like, wait a minute, this company isn't even like that old. What's going on? It's literally doing shit the government was doing before, right? So this is just to give examples. This isn't talking crap about any particular company, but it's the idea of abuses of power, because we're talking about people in power and businesses and government. And Pluto's job, whenever it goes through any sign, because Pluto is about power, Pluto's job is to get out from what's hidden, what's underneath, what's hiding, to show us the dirty, the rot, the stink, the stench, the undesirable, and for it to be seen so that we can get rid of it. That's Pluto's job. We're being shown the most undesirable parts of humanity. Once we see it, we can acknowledge it, we can raise it up into the light, we can get rid of it, or we can change things for the good, change things. We can make an everlasting permanent change. That's Pluto. Pluto enters into Aquarius in 2024 yet again, January 21st, on my mom's birthday, of course. 22nd is her birthday. Major changes again. Pluto leaving Capricorn, moving into Aquarius energy. It's going to change what it's transforming, isn't it? It goes from business and government and Capricorn and people in power, things that have been around for a long time, the institutions that have been around for a long time. And it goes into Aquarian energy, which is science, experiment, which is to go where no man has gone before. It's space. Yes, it's all that AI stuff that we hear about. That's Aquarius energy. It's group energy. It's unions. It's structure and organizing people, because we have to honor the ancient ruler of Aquarius here is Saturn. And then we also have to the keywords for Uranus, because Uranus rules Aquarius. You see that? Yep. So we got Uranus and Saturn that are co-rulers of Aquarius energy. And Saturn organizes and structures and rebuilds, but it does it for the long haul, for the long term. It wants to establish long-term security. Long-term security. What sort of security is it trying to establish in the sign? What is it trying to establish for the long term in Aquarius? I'm so used to saying long-term financial stability because it was in Capricorn, but it changes in the sign of Aquarius. Saturn is now thinking about the group. Aquarius is a humanitarian energy. It's thinking about the people, the rights of the people. So when we think about organizing and restructuring Saturn, and we think about unions and power of the people and independence, different, new, cutting edge, we think of independent power. How many people do you know are trying to go off grid? Communities being created, off grid communities. We think of communes where people literally are like, hey, I'm going to go and live here. These are like-minded people. I want to be around them. Yeah. Pluto going into Aquarius energy, we have to consider Saturn and Uranus. Now, this is just to give us a sample because it doesn't stay here. Pluto will not stay in Aquarius all of 2024. It does a back and forth. It goes back and forth. So it will stay in Aquarius up until 2 degrees, 2:06, 2 degrees and 6 minutes. And then it goes retrograde. So by time September of 2024 comes, September of 2024 is when Pluto dips back into Capricorn. Believe it or not, September of 2024 is when we will have Pluto at 29 degrees of Cappy, September of 2024. So that gives us an idea. It also gives us time. Pluto's not real fast, but the changes are deep. So it shows us what's broken, what's not working, the abuses of power, right? The people that claim the two-tiered justice system and point their finger one way, while guess what? Look the other way. The two-tiered justice system is working. There definitely is, but it's right. So it's that whole, everyone's having this argument like, but wait a minute, don't you understand this? And it's like, guess what? It's all being changed. It's all being transformed. It all is old and outdated. And Pluto is here to orchestrate these changes. So it shows us the deep, the dirty, the grungy, the what we do not want to see. It can be difficult, but Pluto has a purpose. So in your chart, you're looking for those degrees. You're looking right now from September to December, all the way through December, 27, 28, 29 degrees of Capricorn. And you want to look at your Libra energy and your Aries energy at those degrees, 27, 28, 29, because that is where Pluto will be creating the stress and the tension to make changes. And this is not a one-hit thing. It's going to back out, and then it's going to come back in and re-square these degrees, but not the 27s. The next time Pluto does a retrograde, it goes back to 28. It's like a high 28, almost around 29. You follow? So that gives us a lot of time to plan and to figure out, what does Pluto want me to change? Pluto can be about showing you what your fears are and to take your power back in your life and to say, hey, take it by the horns and make plans. Don't sit around waiting to be the victim, right? Capricorn is jobs, is our career, is our long-term goals and ambition. So for all of us, this is like, what the hell is going on? The uncertainty is still there. We still feel it. We're still within it. So we're still learning to just stay flexible and to be able to pivot. Flexibility is key. And options. Make sure we're working on our options. One thing about this day, October 10th of 2023, look at Mars. The last day that Mars is in the sign of Libra for negotiations and compromises. Libra season is on. See that? All the planets in Libra. Libra season is on. Negotiations, talking and communication. Even Mercury is here with the sun. And where's Venus at? She is now in the details. This is the time. Make the plans. Look at the contracts. This is the time, because Venus is going over what she values in the details with Mercury. So they get along here, and Venus and Mercury's looking at the contract. She's trying to negotiate. Pay attention, because Mars at 29, once Mars dips into Scorpio, once we move to October 11th, Mars is in Scorpio by then. Mars likes to fight. Mars will fight for what it values, but it's based on shared values because it's Scorpio energy. So you're basically looking for the house numbers where this is playing out. All right. So this is to try to give everybody a little bit of a heads up and some foresight into the 2024, and to understand there is a process here. And there's a reason things seem so insane. There's a purpose behind it. And its name is Pluto. It's coming to make deep transformations, permanent transformations in our life for the better. All right. You got any questions, you comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.